kids aren't born racist. I got this sentence inside me for a very long time, probably since I was a kid, because I think life is mostly based on experiences, and when you do have the right experiences, there is no chance you could become racist. Of course, some of these experiences are better than others, and some people react in a very different way. But I think that by telling you my experiences, you will understand what I do mean. For example, the other day, I was trying to find food, as many times as I often do in the vlogs, and especially in the streams. I always try to find food, and I was trying to find Vietnamese food from a very old Vietnamese couple. And guys, this couple is so old, like 80 years old, that sometimes they do work, sometimes they do not work. And I decided to try my chances, like I'm trying my chances right now. And I decided, okay, let's go there, let's find food, let's make an amazing video, and so on. And when I went there, when I finally found a place after millions of people helped me, millions of people of different colors helped me, I arrived there and they were closed. Because, you know what, they are old. They work when they feel like working. If they do not have the energy.
Turn right, then. Turn right.
So as I was telling you, if they have a bad day, if they don't feel well, if they do not feel the energy, they usually prefer to not work. And I'm holding myself because this thing might fall and I might end up in a snake trap. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Jesus, I cannot get out of this. Okay. So, one of the people that helped me to find that place where they usually work has a restaurant, a very, very tiny restaurant. And in these restaurants, they were sitting some police officers. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh, if there are police officers in this restaurant, the restaurant must be incredibly, incredibly cheap, and they must make huge portions. I do not know why my mind associates police with great quantity and a great price, but that's what my mind does. And sorry, Cap. You see how friendly are the people. Anyway, what I was telling you, my mind always associates police with good portions and great prices, and it was true. It was really true. Like, I got lucky and I had huge portions and great prices, but in that same restaurant they had no space for me. And you know, they could have told me come back another day or sorry, and they have been situations where being white, I wasn't really welcome, because right now if you're white you're spreading the virus apparently here in Thailand. And in many of my videos you have always seen that Jesus, when I tell them that I am Italian, I am fucked. Like there is no chance that they do react normally. It's very, very hard unless they are like oh, I'm super strong, no virus is gonna get me. But if they have read the news, I am completely fucked. Wait a moment. There is a dog. Okay, no, the dog decided to go for another way. No, still here. Okay, he doesn't want to attack me. Anyway, what I was telling you is that you see, these people, instead of kicking me out, instead of judging me by the color of the skin, they decided to welcome me. And the way they decided to welcome me was to open their own house. When they did open the house, there wasn't a table for me, there wasn't a chair for me. They made a table and they made a chair for me, and they told me, look, the restaurant is full, but you can eat the same food in our own house. And it was a beautiful experience, guys. Especially because in that house there was a kid and there was a grandma. Oh, let's see this man passing, so the audio will not be... Sawadee Kap. Look how friendly, look the smile. And so there was this kid, This kid was 3 or 6 months old, I cannot really recall. But you know what the woman told me? The grandma told me, you are the first white man. Other friendly people. You are the first white man this kid has ever seen. I was the first white man. Imagine what an honor. I was the first white man this kid has ever seen. It was an incredible feeling because my whole lunch was his eyes staring at me. And you know what was weird? When I was pointing the camera, he wasn't smiling. But when I wasn't pointing the camera, he was smiling all the time. And he was so honest with the smile. You know, kids, they do not lie. And kids, they change when they grow up. And when they grow up, everything depends on the community, everything depends on the environment, everything depends on the family. If the family doesn't teach them the bad and the good, if the education they get is not able to teach them what is racism, they will probably grow up racist because you are gonna fear a person that is different than you instead of embracing that person. And I think this is the lack of education in nowadays. I think the lack of education is what is ruining the world nowadays. But I see it is mostly an American thing, and I'm sorry for my American subscribers, but when I see that from a European perspective, yeah, I see divisions in many occasions, but still, from my perspective at least, it is a totally American thing. But if you experience racism when you're a kid, you are able to understand probably that this is not something you want to do to other people. And that's probably the choice I made as a kid. And by the way, growing up, all my idols, all my posters in my room, they were black basketball players. Can you imagine that? I mean, somebody could have told that I am racist against white people, but imagine that. All my idols, they are black players. But apart from that story, my family, my father and my mother, they come from two totally different races. And because of that, as a kid, I had huge problems. Like my mother coming from Poland and being Slavic is totally different from Italians, Spanish and French people. She's completely different, totally a different education. And at the time when I was a kid, all the girls coming from Poland, they were considered as bitches. And so everybody will tell that Polish women are prostitutes. And as a kid, I wasn't able to tell to anybody that my mother was from Poland. I think the first time I actually told it was in middle school. And then finally in high school, I was proud enough to be from two different countries so that I was able to speak about that very clearly and to be real with people and to stand my ground and to what's the word in English? And to, I don't want to use the word fight, and I was able to stand against all the backlash I was getting because my mother was from another country, from a country that was much poorer than Italy at the time, and from a country where apparently they had so many prostitutes, which is not even true. Of course, there was such a huge problem, and nowadays still so many people from Eastern Europe, especially the girls, they are considered prostitutes, and the guys, they are considered thieves, which is absolutely not true. Like in Italy, we say that you cannot make from the whole grass an entire group. Every type of grass is totally different from the other. So do not judge one group of people by seeing only one person. And anyway, that's my story. Probably, I think sometimes in the world of nowadays, what is lacking is a parent slapping his kid, and because it's not considered as good behavior nowadays, a parent using the belt on his kid, like my dad used it on me, on my ass, and I could see the regret in his eyes. every time he was doing so. But nowadays, I am extremely grateful that I am a good person. I am a good person because he taught me the difference between good and bad. And if you're able to teach what racism is to the kids, I'm sure, I'm completely positive that you can help them become better people, better person, and to see no difference in the color of the skin. Like the other day, a YouTuber made a video, Marques Brownlee, about the color of his skin. And I can honestly tell you, that was the first time I noticed that he was black. That was the first time I noticed the color of his skin, because he mentioned it in the title. Like, I totally do not care, and when we die, when we check the bones, all the bones, they have the same color. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this interruption from the normal vlogs in the right way. I do hope you are gonna stay positive as always, because guys, I mean, if you can help out other people understanding the world, help them out. And I have one last suggestion to all the Americans, probably not the Americans watching this channel, because I'm sure inside you are a traveler, but I have a huge suggestion for all the Americans, and I think it's totally important. Guys, get a passport. Get a passport, go out there, experience this world, experience this mess, experience what it's like to be the only white person in a room of black people, experience what it's like to be the only Catholic guy in a room of Muslims, experience everything. When you experience it, when you totally feel it, and when you see that the world is just one big village, and when you experience the bad and the good, you're able to understand the difference. And when you're able to understand the difference, you will never treat bad other people. You will never judge them by the color or whatever it is. I said this thing about the Americans and their passport because the Americans are the people that have the least passports per average, or something like that. Jesus, my English. And they are the people that travel the least outside of their country. If you go outside of your country, you're going to experience different cultures, and you're going to learn the world. You're going to see that we are just one planet. So I think that's it for this video. Sorry for this rant, but I felt the need to put it out. And thank you so much for watching. Keep reading and believe in your dreams. Now I gotta drive for like 3-4 hours. So please, God, let this weather be still, and let it rain when I will get back to any hotel, or to the right hotel, hopefully. Thank you so much again. Ciao.